I just got home after bringing some goodies with our friends, and it is awful cold out there. It's gonna be a week for below zero weather temperatures, so it's really not fun outside. So today I'll be sharing an easy homemade food to cook in the colder months. Well, this is not only what we cook for the colder months, but some of them I'll be sharing here today. What are you doing here? You saute the...
You have to saute brown the chicken.
Okay, with just the garlic or with onion?
You will add the onion next and then the chicken broth.
That's homemade chicken broth. Onion, carrots, celery, bok choy, cauliflower, green pepper. And that his noodles right now that he's preparing. I have no idea if you have more noodles to add it.
That's getting close to being done enough. That's all the ingredients right there that go into it, except for the salt and pepper.
So you have these diced tomatoes?
Diced, I'd rather have stewed, but you'd use any diced, any kind of tomatoes one can. Unless you have fresh ones, which we don't. I will simmer this for an hour now before I add the bok choy or cabbage or noodles to it.
Everything there?
I've got everything in there but the noodles now. So I want all the vegetables to get done, and then when I add the noodles, I will add some more liquid because the noodles are going to absorb liquid, and you don't want it super thick. Right now it would be good for a vegetable soup, but you're going to have to add some more fluid when you either chicken broth or water before you add the noodles.
So is it done?
I would give it, it doesn't hurt it to simmer for an extra hour. Just put it on very low and leave it warming the house up for the rest of the day. Take it out when you want and let it cool. The noodles are done. You just want to make sure that you keep some liquid in there. If it cooks down too much, add a cup of water. It doesn't hurt to add a little bit more water to it. If you cook it too long, the noodles will start to break up, but soup is always better the next day than the first day anyway. Very good to eat on a cold day outside when it's 15 below Celsius right now.
Is it?
Yes, it's 15 degrees Celsius below.
So can you explain that with
What?
me about the below zero compared to, of course, the Philippines?
The Celsius is
Like right now, the
Celsius zero is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now it is about 12 degrees below with the wind chill.
So
Fahrenheit, it's about 15 below, 20 below Celsius right now with the wind chill outside.
So if it is 80 degrees in the Philippines compared here right now, what is that?
80 degrees in the Philippines, Fahrenheit. Right now it is just right about zero here. So it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit warmer in the Philippines
place right now is like freezer? Like colder in the freezer?
It is colder than you have in your freezers. Your freezers run about 25, 20 degrees at the very coldest. 32 is freezing. A freezer runs about 25. If you put a 6-pack of beer out in a half an hour, it'll be froze solid. You'll eat it with a spoon.
So we are colder than the freezer.
And then a freezer, by far.
Okay. I don't think that's funny.
Oh, yeah.
What are you making today?
I'm making a meatloaf out of mixed kinds of meat. 1 pound of ground beef. I have 1.25 pounds of ground pork. And if I can get my knife,
You need a rags. Maybe you need that.
one pound of ground, 1.25 pounds of ground pork, and a pound of ground turkey that I found on sale for $1 a pound.
So that's very cheap then?
Yes, it's pretty cheap meatloaf. You've got a little over 3 pounds here. It'll probably feed a family of 5 for a meal, under $5 for it. Okay, put all 3 of the meat together. Crush an egg. 1 cup of breadcrumbs. This time I'm using the panko style, the smaller ones. 1 cup. I'm going to use a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of celery seed, and this is optional. You can put anything in there you want for spices, but I happen to have the celery seed and the smoked paprika, and I will put a teaspoon of each in. And a little bit of chives for an onion flavor. And then you just mash it in. Mix it thoroughly. You don't want all the turkey on one side and all the pork or beef on the other, unless that's what you want to do it. The breadcrumbs have to be worked in and the egg worked in together. And actually with the turkey in there, it doesn't hurt to have a can of cranberry sauce. If you like it, you put on the side too.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. Also, I never thought about it though. That you can use cranberry sauce.
Or barbecue sauce, or any other sauce you really want to use. With a mixture like this, you could put gravy over the top, a cream of mushroom soup, or whatever you want for variety.
Can you make it like a sandwich?
Yes, you can. As soon as it comes out, you take it out of the pan, let it cool a little bit. You can slice it just like sandwich meat. I can see to get a little bit to get it loaf shaped and into the pan.
And then you bake it what? You place it into the oven?
350 degrees until you figure it is done. And that should take between, I would say, an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. So approximately maybe 90 minutes at 350. You could put garnish on the top if you want to later, your cheese, or a slice of bacon, or whatever you want to garnish it, or a slice of onion. And that's all there is to it for a meal for 4, 5 people. Very easy. This is going to cook for about another 20 minutes. But that's the meatloaf that we put in earlier today with a couple slices of the old homemade bacon on top. The bacon is just to keep the top of it a little moist so it doesn't dry out very much. Any kind of bacon would work. Anything you want on the top, like an onion slice, would keep it moist too. Otherwise the top gets a little dried out. But if you put something on there like this, it doesn't dry it out. And some people like it crunchy on top, so